My name is Mikey February. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm a professional surfer. For this project, I decided to learn how to sew and to create a quilt using African fabrics that I've collected through my travels, combined with old recycled Vans clothing from myself, from other team riders and other individuals. So I have all my tools. I've got some fabric, got my sewing machine, but all that's left to learn is how to sew. So I'm gonna go to Auntie Letty, my grand's friend, to get some wisdom and advice. She's a very experienced quilter, so get some tips from her and get started.
If you don't feel like, you have an off day, just leave your quilt.
Yeah.
The energy will come back.
Yeah.
And you continue. Labor of love.
Today we went to go and source some fabric. Auntie Letty, she was telling me about the Shweshwe fabric, which is pretty unique to South Africa, so I decided to go and hunt for some. The cool thing about Cape Town is it's so diverse with so many different people, so many different cultures. The African market, there was fabric from all over Africa. They're all so vibrant, they're so colorful. They all have these amazing patterns and they're so unique in their own way, and I got some really good fabric. This book's in Afrikaans, so I pretty much don't understand a word, but I want to do that. Kind of did a little mock-up of what I'm going to be doing at the end. It was nice to mess around and actually physically sew, which was really fun. Oh shit. My lines aren't that straight and stuff, but hopefully I'll get there soon. It was pretty fun just trying to figure out where kind of looks best, so whether it was a pocket or Vans logo or design, and then from there just pretty much started joining them together. It just feels nice to focus your mind elsewhere and get creative in another way, because it's just a new experience, and new experiences are always fun. I'm pretty stoked with it. I think it looks cool. I think it's finally starting to take shape, so I guess I'm just gonna have to do a lot more of these, but I think in a huge piece it'll look awesome. I need to try to find some nice checkerboard fabric so that I can frame it nicely and have a nice, Vans little border, which would be cool. Pretty crazy, but we couldn't find any checkerboard prints anywhere in Cape Town. Morning. I just wanted to call and ask if you have any checkerboard black and white fabrics. Almost like a checkerboard. Just a black and white pattern. Checkered fabrics, just a simple black and white. Not one of them had a checkerboard fabric. But I found this piece of fabric which I can kind of make into a checkerboard pattern if I just cut strips and then kind of layer it over one line down, so it kind of ends up forming a checkerboard pattern. Sewed it together and I'm super happy with it. I finally have my complete quilt. I've got all my pieces together. It looks like a quilt and it feels like a quilt. It's the first major sewing project that I've ever done, and to step back and see this, it was just such a fun experience. I'm pretty stoked on it. It looks awesome. It's nice to see the final product. Auntie Letty shared with me, when you complete a quilt, one big thing is your quilting history. It's sort of like a piece of fabric that you have on the back of your quilt that kind of resembles the time that you spent on it, but also the memory and the sentiment that it has. I thought it would be appropriate to kind of just take a drive into share it with some friends and family that play a big role in my life, and I decided that it would be cool to kind of just let them sign on the piece of fabric that will end up being my quilting history. I got my whole family to sign. I got my wife to sign it. Got to go back to Auntie Letty, and she was really happy, but also critical at the same time. That's just the way she is.
I'm impressed, really.
She played such a big part of it. Just to top it off, had to have her sign it. All that's left to do now is just sign my name and sew the quilting history on, and be done. It's been a really cool experience, and it's important to try to do things that you haven't tried before or that's out of your comfort zone, because you can learn a lot and it just keeps things interesting.